Yeah, guys, I'll just start off by thanking our, our administration, President Moorhead, Josh Brooks. I've got two great sport administrators and Will Lawler and Tanner Steins, and without them, we're not here. Our fans have been phenomenal this year. Grounds crew, our managers. It takes a lot to get here, and I just want to thank all those people.
Man, Coach, a lot of things I guess to ask about this game day, but the ninth inning, I mean, start Tyler in that situation instead of Zach. Kind of what was the reasoning behind that?
Yeah, I mean, Zach was a tick sore today. If you're gonna, have a chance to play the second game, you're gonna have to use different pitchers.
Sure.
We had Jordan Stevens ready to go. We kind of held him back, in case we were gonna start him. Yeah, you're just trying to get it done with somebody else. Tyler's closed one out against Oklahoma here, league play. We like the matchup on paper. We just didn't throw strikes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess on that note, also runners on second and third, nobody out, 3 strikeouts.
Yeah, it's just baseball. You got to do your job there. You got to get the ball to play, and we didn't do it.
Slate, what are your emotions? With you guys 3 outs away from winning there, and having it end pretty suddenly.
Man, I'm heartbroken. None of us saw this coming. We planned on playing for a long time. It didn't happen. But, I just want to say thank you to Coach Johnson. I mean, I love this man right here. He took a chance on me. And we all have his back, and we know he has ours. And, man, I've truly enjoyed playing at the University of Georgia. And, yeah, man, I'm just – no one saw it coming like this, but, God has a plan, so.
Wes, what could you say to your team? I know you haven't had much time. It's still pretty
Yeah, I mean, I think you hammer on all the positives. I mean, we lost 100 home runs on this team. We had 145. Fielded the ball better, stole more bases. We broke the strikeout record, lowered our ERA. We won 18 games in league play. 143, obviously we were a national seed. We didn't get it done, but you got to draw back on that. You don't know how or what the plan is and how far you're ever going to get in this game. As baseball, it's really hard. We told people for years, winning is really, really hard. And we didn't get it today, but there's so many positives to build on this team.
Wes, I know it's a matchup game, and I know you didn't have much to say about the seeding when it came out, but is that something that you are curious about to see how you guys ended up as a 7 with the 2 RPI?
Yeah, I mean, there's always stuff, right? I mean, the NCAA is going to have their reasonings and do their thing.
Yeah, I guess, Coach, when you look at this team, what are you going to take away from it?
A lot of things that, I told you. I mean, we're going in the right direction. I tell you, there's a lot of people doubting if we could put up kind of offensive numbers that we put up after losing Charlie and Corey. Well, we lost 100 home runs off a team that hit 151. And, we like our model, but obviously it's got to improve. It's got to get better because we're in here now talking about this. So we got to do some things better. We'll continue to find where we need to improve, and we'll try to address those needs in recruiting.
And Coach, I know it's hard to ask that kind of question, so with the loss of fresh, but specifically, I guess, what are some of the things you want to try to do differently, improve on next year within your team?
Yeah, obviously we're going to lose probably, one of the best overall players I've had, for the time in Slate. You're going to have to replace a guy who hit 330 and clutched up all year. You don't know what the draft's going to hold. Mm-hmm. Those are the other things. We got to get a little more length out of our starters. We got to have a few more starters that can give you a little more length. Those are things that we're going to try to address, and not only in recruiting, but also in our development in the fall. And guys, I don't think you can forget about these guys like Slate and guys who've been here for 2 falls in a row. They didn't even have a locker room. Don't get me wrong, it's progress and they're happy, but And then we didn't practice on a regulation field this year till January 24th. We didn't get into a locker room until February 1st. And, you know, for this team to come together and stick together and fight and glue together the way they did, under, you know, obviously some really good renovations and everything that we received from it is just a testament to how strong a character they really are.
Wes, you used 6 pitchers today. Obviously, a lot more yesterday. What goes into putting together your 27-man roster? I know Charlie Goldstein's a veteran that wasn't on the roster. How do you make those decisions? What was the reason he wasn't on there?
I'm not going to talk about specifics, but I'll give you a little insight. You know, we live in the information age, and you know, we'll just go hypothetical here. We'll use the Duke Blue Devils. They hit 30 points higher against left-handed pitching. Not every pitcher or hitter hits a side better than the other. You have some guys known as reverse split guys. So if a guy's a 20-point reverse split guy and the other team's hitting 30 points higher on that side, you can do the math. That means who are you going to keep on your roster? A guy or players that hit, you know, X against certain pitchers, or pitchers that throw it. We play numbers. We've done it for 86 wins. We're going to continue to do it that way. Yeah.
Dash and then Mark.
Coach, another kind of look ahead question. Do you anticipate being as active in the transfer portal you've been the first 2 years here?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's what happens. Hopefully, we don't have to get as many, you know, as we've had in the past. I really like our freshman class coming in. You know, the draft's going to be big for us. We've got a couple guys there that, you know, you look at this guy. I mean, this guy had opportunities to go play professional baseball and took a chance on us and came back. And you don't know who's going to do that, but yeah, I mean, you've got to be ready. You got to be able to move. I mean, we want to slowly not have to get as many as we've gotten in the past, but the draft, and as we sit down and have meetings with players and talk to scouts and see where that's going, that'll really determine how active we really get.
You mentioned you have a highly rated freshman class coming in and guys that are on this team that are also expected to be, like, you know, pretty good draft position. Do you have a good sense that you think of what your roster might look like to a certain extent?
Yeah, I mean, it's on paper though, right? But it's so soft and loose. The draft is such an imperfect science. You got 30 clubs. It just takes one to really like a player more than the other 29, and they push in their chips, and you're thinking you're in the clear, and then they come in and get your guy. And so it's really hard to say on paper. I like where our roster is, like what we've got coming in, what we've got coming back. We are going to have to supplement some in the portal. But like I say, it's such an ebb and flow to what's going on. We've got 2 really high profile high school players. We'll just have to see how that shakes out.
Dash and then Mike.
Coach, JT Quinn, I know 378 pitches. I think that's the most he's thrown this year. Is that kind of going your decision to take him out and start the 5th?
Yeah, I mean, the guy threw the ball well. I mean, I know he gave up 3.
Yeah.
6 strikeouts, 1 walk, and whatever. JT, we couldn't ask more out of JT this year. I mean, the guy I think he had a 9 ERA last year. He finished the year with a 2.79.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't ask for more out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, I told him after the 3rd, I knew his pitch count was getting high. I brought him over. I said, "You're gonna have to empty the tank right here. We're gonna need you." At that point, you're looking at the game, and it's 5-3, and they got some guys coming up that we don't necessarily like to match up with him, and so he emptied the tank and did his job and got back in and put a 0 up, and when he did that, we knew he was done.
Mm-hmm.
Last one for Mike.
Yeah. Slate, I know this is really fresh, but I got to ask you, as a guy coming in from the outside, there's going to be other guys that come into Georgia. What are they going to get when they become a part of the program under Wes?
Man, first of all, like I said, I'm just blessed to be here. He took a chance on me, and I'll be forever grateful for that. And I mean, what you get in Coach Johnson is someone that's going to study the game and figure out how he can, get you to your highest potential. and man, he knows more about the game than anyone. I mean, this guy was in the big leagues. I think if players want to play pro ball and they want to go to the next level and they want to win, most importantly for Georgia, then I mean, I don't see another place that's better in the country to come play baseball. And like I said, man, I'm thankful for the university. I'm thankful for this place. I hate it ended this way, but I guess God has a plan. But yeah, very thankful.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.